This is a Main Hustle Media podcast.
Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Jackie O and you're listening to Militantly Mixed.
Yo, this is Rashani from the Single Simulcast. And when I'm not making you laugh or making up parody songs, I'm kicking back, listening to Militantly Mixed.
Konnichiwa, what's up, cousins? Welcome to Militantly Mixed, the podcast about race and identity from the mixed race perspective. I am your Sir Auntie Mane Fury. And before I get started, I just want to say hello and welcome to all the new mixed cousins who have joined the Militantly Mixed family recently. Between Free to Be Fest in August and Mixed Asian Day last weekend, I have met a lot of new mixed cousins in person. And I've also seen a little bit of a spike in subscribers and listens and downloads after both of those events. So hello and welcome. You are joining the Militantly Mixed family at sort of a strange time in its lifespan, because I've only just recently relaunched the show after taking a very long hiatus after my husband Tristan died in November 2023. So I'm trying to build my show back. I'm trying to build myself back to feeling more human as well. But this last summer with Free to Be Fest and Mixed Asian Day, I do feel like I got a big part of who I am as a mixed person and as the host of this show at those events. So if you've just joined and you're trying to check out the show to figure out what it's about, you would have to go before November 2023 to get a picture of what the show really is about. The episodes that I've released this summer have had more to do with both the Free to Be Fest and Mixed Asian Day, because in the process of relaunching the show, imposter syndrome kicked back in because I don't really know who I am now in my grief. And I wasn't sure if I knew who I was as the host of this show anymore. And so I decided to fixate on the upcoming Mixed Affinity events, because I thought that would be a way that at least I could reconnect with the community again in preparation for these events. But also it kind of left me off the hook, if I'm honest, in terms of creating content for the mixed community. But having gone to both of those events and having my cup filled a couple times, I do feel closer to the old Militantly Mixed person that I was. And so I'm looking forward to starting to release episodes that are more in line with historically what the show is and like. The only thing is, I am about to take a mental health hiatus. And for those who have been with me for a number of years know I have always done this. I would work for 3 months on the show, and then I would take a month off, and then I would work for 3 months and take a month off. And this was a way that I could balance my humanity against the show as well, because this is a labor of love project, but it is also a very heavily emotional labor project. And I am the sole creator, producer, host, editor, scheduler, admin, promoter, etc. This is a one main show. And over the course of the last 7 years, I haven't managed to translate this into a financially sustainable project on its own. I am still the one having to fund it primarily. And there are times when that's very difficult. And sometimes I thought I was going to have to give it up because it is expensive to do this. And so the combination of how stressful it can be sometimes to produce it up against me absorbing the stories that people who have been guests on the show have been generous enough to share with me. Not all mixed people come from the identity from a happy rainbows and butterflies space. A lot of us do have trauma related to our mixed identity in our families. A lot of us are in isolation because we may be one of the only mixed people in our family or one of the only mixed people in our community. And so it can be very isolating, it can be very lonely, and sometimes it can be very traumatic. And when I would get stories like that, those are all swirling around and living in me after they're shared with me. And so I would have to take these mental health hiatuses just to kind of reset, regulate myself to get back to the work. So that's what I'm about to do. And because I sort of desperately need it, even though I'm riding a high right now, in the same time that I was co-planning Free to Be Fest and participating in it and preparing for Mixed Asian Day and participating in that, I also found out I was late accepted into law school and started. July 31st, I got accepted. August 26th, I started my first class. So in the process of all this good mixed affinity experiences, I also started law school, and I really haven't had a chance to breathe since then. And I'm coming off of a year and a half, essentially, of being in bed in my grief. I have not worked or produced much in the year and a half since my husband died, as I've been kind of clawing my way back to my humanity. And August was the first good month, mood-wise and experience-wise, that I could say I've had since my husband died. And so I think that's why I've been able to ride for the last 2 months without falling apart and collapsing again, is because I've had some of this, I guess I've had a lot of dopamine since August. But now that I'm a month into school, I'm starting to realize I'm not time managing very well, and I want to figure out what it looks like to manage my law program against what my availability is for Militantly Mixed. And so for the last few weeks, I have talked about, I'm not 100% sure what it looks like going forward. I don't know if it's weekly or bi-weekly or what have you for a little while. So I'm going to take this mental health hiatus. I'm going to get myself nice and regulated, and I'm going to map out my schedule for the show for the next couple months. And then when I come back at the end of October, beginning of November, I'm going to hit you with a number of really dynamic folks that I have encountered recently that have confirmed that they will be on the show. I just need to schedule recordings. And I got to tell you, I'm really geeked to be able to talk to some of these people that have committed to coming on the show, because they are all amazing as people and amazing mixed as people. So if you're new, go back into the crates. There is a catalog of 7 years of podcast episodes for you to consume. You can do it chronologically. You could do it backwards. You could look for your mix or something like that, or you can look for your country or your city or something, because sometimes that is in there as well. But however you choose to consume it, just know that anything I produced between November 2023 and July 2025 have predominantly been me checking in to let people know I was still breathing, but I hadn't found my way back to the show yet. I did a number of check-in episodes with a couple of interview episodes sprinkled here and there. So yeah, if you want to know what Militantly Mixed is really about, you can go back prior to 2023, November of 2023, and you will get that picture. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice too. I'm so tired. It has finally caught up. This last 2 months has finally caught up over the last couple of days. And yeah, I'm really tired. So, but I want to get this out. I want y'all to hear the plan. I also finally transitioned the website over to a new website host that integrates a lot of my podcast episodes into the website a lot more automated, and it's dope for me. And it actually cuts down a lot of the non-fun parts of doing the show, like getting the website up to date and everything like that. So check out the new militantlymixed.com website. It's pretty dope. The layout is nice and pretty and user-friendly finally. And also I've had to change the company that produces my t-shirts, and for 2 reasons. You have to thank the current sitting president, in quotation fingers, of the United States for his big, beautiful tariffs, I guess, whatever the fuck he's calling it these days. They actually have made it impossible for the company I was using to send products to the U.S. A lot of their merchandise was printed in Latvia or Mexico. Some of it's printed in the U.S., but majority of what they did for me, they couldn't send to the U.S. Otherwise, they were a really great company, and for the most part, didn't participate in a lot of the things that I don't agree with. So I was really happy to be with them while I could. But I understand these tariffs make it cost prohibitive for them to continue to work in the U.S., as a lot of products and services that we are used to here are experiencing. So I had to switch to another company that also connected to my new website a lot easier as well. So it was a combination of reasons, I guess. But the new shop is hosted or produced by Fourth Wall, and there are about 5 of the regular Militantly Mixed shirts up. I have held back some of the Mixed and Hella line for the ethnicities because I'm getting new designs soon, and also trying to release new designs for different mixed folks beyond the mix that I have. Mixed and Hella Black, Mixed and Hella Asian was what I had produced because I could design them on my own because I was from those communities. For the communities I'm not a member of, I'm looking for artists from those communities to produce those designs. So it'll take some time because it also takes some money, and I can only do a little bit at a time. So those will hopefully start to get up fairly soon. But in the meantime, you have the Militantly Mixed logo, t-shirt and hoodie and mug. You have the Not Your Model Minority AAPI month t-shirt that was designed a couple years ago, that I designed a couple years ago, and the Mixed and Hella Queer t-shirt that I designed for Pride a couple years ago. And neither of those designs need to change because they fit what they're supposed to fit. The Mixed and Hella Queer t-shirt has the Gilbert font, which was created by a queer person for the queer community during the initial HIV/AIDS crisis. So it's appropriate for the design, and it's queer and here to stay. That's pretty much all I got for y'all. I will be back at the end of October or early November. You can keep an eye out on the social media, Instagram and Blue Sky, if you want to get updates as to when things are happening. But yes, in the meantime, don't forget to be your mixed ass self. See y'all. Militantly Mixed is a Main Hustle Media podcast, produced and hosted by me, Charmaine Fury. Music is by David Bogan, The One. Please follow us on social media, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at Militantly Mixed. If you'd like to become a Patreon of Militantly Mixed, please go to patreon.com/Charmaine Fury for a monthly sponsorship, or paypal.me/Militantly Mixed for a one-time only donation. And if you like what you hear on Militantly Mixed, please subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. And don't forget to be your mixed ass self. Main Hustle Media. Turn your side hustle into your main hustle.